Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Lexi. I'm a nail technician and hairstylist full-time. That's what I do for a living. I attend Paul Mitchell School in Houston, and I own BillioNoire Salon Suites, also located in Houston. And if you are a hairstylist in Houston or a lash tech, brow tech, nail tech, I do have rooms available for rent. They're almost gone. I only have 2 rooms left, so make sure you hit your girl up. And sorry y'all for the little delay. I think my last video was like a month ago or 3 weeks ago. I just never had the time to sit down in quietness to really record my voice over. Like, it's crazy because everywhere I be loud as hell. I'm just like, damn, I can't even record my voice, my voiceovers to my video because I'm just like always around noise. So I'm finally, and I only have like 20 minutes of quietness to finally record this voice memo. So as you can see, I basically so far detangled my client. I gave her a nice shampoo, and I'm about to give her an amazing blowout. So basically with my videos, if you guys are new here, it's just going to be beauty tutorials. So whether it be hair or nails, I do film like the entire detailed process. I try not to really speed up my videos. And yes, I do talk a lot. So, but feel free to just mute me and just watch what I do. But, and I try to show the products and list the products and stuff. But the way I do my videos is I will be extensive on certain parts of the process. So my last video, I believe I showed a detailed portion of the shampoo process. And this one I skipped it, but I will show a detailed portion of the blow dry. So the blow dry in this video is going to be a little bit longer. If you are not interested, then you could just skip on over. I'm going to try to link like the exact part where the blow dry is over. If not, I'm sorry. I probably forgot, but I am in a rush. So yes, I'm using my my fake unk brush. I do not have the real one. I bought fake ones, and they work just as well in my opinion, but that's what I used to detangle her at first. And then I'm using my From ceramic paddle brush. This is my favorite brush to blow dry because it has the ceramic pads or ceramic plates on the inside. So if you link it like this with your blow dryer, it ends up heating up, and then it will heat the hair a little bit more the way to get it like more silky straight. So, and that's great for like if you have a silk press, because you can get the hair straighter than if you was to just use like a round brush, etc. So yeah, as you can see here, I start off in the roots. I stretch the roots out as much as I possibly can, and then I just like go back and forth maybe 2 or 3 times at most, because this blow dryer that I have, Babyless, is my favorite blow dryer, but it gets really hot. Like, it gets like really, really hot. And I think I filmed this video like, I would say just about a month ago. I actually filmed this video a while. Like this specific ponytail, it's on my Instagram. And I ended up posting that a while ago. And this client specifically, she ended up cutting off all this beautiful hair. But the cut, girl, when I tell you it looked good, y'all, my Instagram is right there on the screen. If you go on my page, my last post is of the cut that I ended up giving her. It's a curly pixie cut. Then after that, she's gonna end up going platinum blonde. So yes, can't wait for that. Definitely filming a video on that to show you guys how I do it. So as you can see here, I basically stretch the hair as much as I can, and then again I use my blow dryer to go back and forth for the roots to get the roots straight, and then I attack the ends using the paddle brush the opposite way so the ceramic plates could get warmed up. So after that, I'm gonna be giving her a silk press. I would say probably not the full silk press effect because she's not going to be wearing it out. She's going to be wearing it in the ponytail. I don't use the same products if I was to do a full silk press, but I do give her some good heat protectant, some good moisture before I do put the flat iron on her hair, because again, no matter what, we're not trying to get any type of heat damage. And I'm not pressing out her hair silky, super smooth, straight, because for the most part, the product that I apply to her hair for the ponytail will have her hair laying flat regardless. So I don't put my flat iron on a super high heat. I think it was like 390. I think I had it on. Definitely, I don't think it passed 400. Yeah, I think I've had it on like 390. As you can see, it's not like super silky straight. I really don't need it to be, but I definitely need it to be like light yucky, like relaxed hair almost. Again, I'm using this flat iron that I've been using in my past couple videos. This will probably be the last video where you'll see me using this flat iron, because I just gave in and decided to bring my Pretty in a Minute flat iron to the studio, because I used to keep it in my school kit and just use it at school. But Pretty in a Minute, that one is my favorite flat iron so far. So I'm gonna end up bringing that to the studio and using that in future videos. So just for the sake of nobody wasting their money, I'm not going to link this flat iron in the description, because I really just don't recommend it. And I don't think any of you guys will be efficient with this flat iron. The mini one, though, that one is fire. And I'm definitely going to link that one in the description. This one right here, it be getting the edges like nobody's business, honey. Yes. And I usually use it for the roots, just to get the roots a little bit straighter. And then that's when I just use the bigger flat iron to just get the rest of the hair straight. And yeah, you can see my sectioning is just about, I would say, 1 inch. I don't really section off the hair super, super thin, because again, this is not a silk press. If I was doing a silk press, I would probably like have my sections a little bit smaller than that. Like I would say 1/2 inch, because she will be wearing it out. But again, I do need it straight, but I don't need to have it like super silky smooth, because the product is going to do the rest of the work for me. So yes, so you guys could just keep watching how I do my flat iron. And yeah, guys. So I'm going to speak more about the product that I end up using for my ponytails. Not everybody uses this product, to be honest, but I honestly have like great experience with it, because it's not like super drying to the hair. It could be a little bit heavy, but for styles like this, I recommend a heavy product. So I wouldn't use it for anything else other than ponytails or doing edges. And that's going to be Murray's. I'm going to end up showing the actual container. It's not, Murray's have like a lot of products, but I end up using the pomade, the very original Murray's, the pomade. I use that first to mold the ponytail, and then to hold it in place, to freeze it in place, I use a freeze hairspray like Got2b or Kenra's freeze hairspray. So as you can see here, I'm just like basically dusting her ends, giving her like a quick trim. Because I did notice she had like a few dead ends, but I didn't go too crazy because she did have plans by this time to cut her hair. But you know, everyone has like a thought about that at one point in time. So just in case she ended up changing her mind, we still want to go for the healthiest hair possible. So that's why I was like, you do have a little bit of dead ends, split ends. I could dust them off really quick before we go in with this ponytail. So that's what I ended up doing. And yeah, so when I do mold the ponytail, you're going to see in the next couple clips how I apply a ton of product. Okay. I am not stingy with the Murray's, girl. Like, and hopefully I'm saying it right, Murray's, right? I don't know. But I'm not stingy with it when I be doing half up, half down updos or ponytail updos, because you really want to mold it in place. That's what will help it last the longest. If you don't use enough products, when they go to sleep on the ponytail, it might end up sweating out. It could revert back, because remember, we're not straightening it like a whole lot, and I'm not using my oil sheen to shield it from humidity, because I want it to be slick back and I want the product to be able to mold it. So it can revert back. So if you do not use enough pomade, then it will end up reverting, and you don't want that. So yeah, this is the product that ended up showing it. How much pomade I put per section. This is the same amount that I put on the very bottom section that I already molded into a ponytail. I'm combing out my edge pieces. It's okay if you get a little bit of murrays on the edges, because that's what I also use to mold her edges down. The same product, murrays, and then I use the hairspray right on top of it just to hold it down so it could stay in place for a longer period of time. So as you can see, I applied a lot of it, but once you brush it into the hair and it starts to melt into the hair, you're not going to see anything. You're not going to see any white cast. You're not going to see any residue. It just leaves like a nice, like, medium shine. I would say like a matte shine. And once you add your hairspray, I used spritz as well. That was that other bottle that you've seen. I use a little bit of spritz. It plays the same role as the hairspray. It's just a little extra step for an extra hold. And one thing that I definitely wanted to note is when you are molding, before you spray any type of extreme hold product, whether it be hairspray or spritz, you want to make sure that you have the hair already molded in the position that you want it to stay in. So, because after you spray, as you can see here, after you spray that hairspray and that spritz, that hair is not going to move. So you have to make sure that it's already in the position that you want it to be in before you spray any type of high hold freeze spray or any type of spritz onto that area. So the purpose of the murrays is to make sure that you to basically put the hair where you want it to be, but it will stay there temporarily until you lock it in. So that's the purpose of murrays. So you can manipulate murrays, like you could brush it one way, then you could say, never mind, I want to brush it the other way, and it will brush the other way just fine, but you can't do it with the spritz. You can see here as her hair started to fall a little bit, it was really dry and stuck. So that's basically, but once I put it back into the ponytail, it's smooth again because I sprayed it to where I wanted it to be. So yes, that's something that a mistake that I ended up making on one of my very first updos. I was spraying it and I didn't even want it to be in that position for real. So yeah, I ended up having to rebrush it. It was bad. It was really bad. But yeah, so I think this is the part where I end up doing the front, the swoop section. I believe I glued in about 3 tracks. So basically, the way I glued in the tracks, I measured it going side by side from that big C section. So that whole section on the top, that's just a C. Like, it's literally just a C section. I parted evenly on both sides, and I just I make it like a C parting from the crown all the way to her forehead. I'm trying to see, like, how far back did I take that, because I don't have a clip of the back too well. But I believe it was around the crown area, like higher crown area. I took a good amount of hair for the swoop. I parted off about an inch, maybe 1.5 inches of hair in the front to glue down the first track. And when you glue the track, you want to make sure your part is super, super clean, so you could try your best to apply the glue mainly on the scalp. So that's what I was doing here. I was applying the glue on the scalp, and then I'm drying it with cool air. So when I do my parts, I part it off real clean, and then when I cut the track, I'm not cutting the track the exact same length of the part, maybe about 1 centimeter shorter. And on the side where, the side that you see right here that doesn't have the swoop part, that's where I wouldn't put my track. So I wish I could explain this way better. But I kind of glue, so right here you can see her swoop is going off to her right side, right? So that's where I'm gluing the tracks. I'm gluing the tracks mostly on her right side. I'm trying to stay away from her left side because I'm moving the hair to the right side. So because I'm moving it this way, it's a bigger chance of the track being visible. So that's why I glue the track more on her right side. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, as you can see, as I'm gluing the tracks down, I'm applying my murets, just to get the hair in place. So you want to like really, with swoops, it could be a little bit tricky. So you want to really make sure that you get the back in place first before you, go crazy in the front, because the back portion that slides into the ponytail, that portion is a little bit harder to get into shape if you were to focus on the front first. So I would say focus on the back first. Focus on getting the back molded and the back put in the right position, and then gradually you could bring the front pieces into the ponytail as well. So that's definitely something that I've also learned. It just flows way better when it comes to like swoop ponytails or swoop anything really. So yeah, you can see here that I'm just gluing in more tracks just to make it a little bit thicker, a little bit fuller. I'm not gonna lie, I really doubt that you could do this hairstyle without gluing in tracks. I would say if your client has super long, super thick hair, that will be the only way without gluing in any tracks in the swoop area. But most likely you would still have to glue in tracks in the swoop area, especially if the color of the hair doesn't match perfectly with your client's hair. Like if their hair is colored and you're getting extensions to try to match it, I would definitely put some tracks into that swoop. So yes, I'm just continuing to mold that swoop to make sure that I am brushing it down sideways, then up into the ponytail. You want to really take your time with this portion because it can get a little bit tricky. And if you end up freezing the hair in the wrong place, girl, the whole thing is just going to flop. The whole thing is just going to flop. So you don't want to rush. You want to make sure you take your time. And then make sure you have a good bristle brush, like one that's like, I would say a medium bristle. You don't want anything that's too soft because you want to have some type of like control over the hair, especially in the swoop area. And there's certain times where I use my comb, etc. And you can see here, I think that was the last part. I left a good amount of hair on top. Oh no, I ended up, oh yeah, okay. So I glued on one more track. That was definitely the last one. But I ended up leaving a good amount of her hair to cover everything because I really don't want any of the tracks to show, obviously. So I made sure I left out a good amount of hair, and I was always gluing those tracks towards her swoop. Like I wasn't gluing it to where the swoop, I was gluing it into the direction of the swoop. So somewhat slanted, but also leaving a little space by her part. Because I really don't want, you can see where my finger is. You see where I put my ring finger? That's where I end the track. You see that I don't bring it all the way to the part because, yeah, no, we don't do that. We don't do track showing around here. So, yes, that's the last track. That is definitely the last track. I'm probably going to go with my murets. Oh, I went in with my comb. Oh, yeah, no, I'm definitely going in with my murets and sleeking that last portion down. So as far as the actual ponytail itself, I didn't really get much footage of me doing the actual ponytail. I believe I did get some footage of how I braided it, how I wrapped it, how I ended up gluing the tracks. I don't think I got clips of how I cut it and how I curl it. So we're going to see. I honestly don't remember because, like I said before, it's been a minute, and I'm finally getting a chance to record this voiceover. So, and one thing about this hairstyle too, getting the swoop to be a little bit lower take some practice, because that's one thing that I wish I did in this specific hairstyle. I wish I brought the swoop down a little bit lower, covering a little bit more of her forehead, but then all in the same time, you know, you do want to have access to your forehead. You know, when you wash your face or when you're sweating, you know, you want to have some type of access to your forehead, and you want to think about, you know, the actual style itself is frozen. Like, it's literally hard. The whole hairstyle is hard except for the actual ponytail. So, you know, it could get a little bit aggravating when you're trying to like actually wash your face or, you know, do day-to-day tasks with your face. So that's something that you also want to keep in mind. I guess that's a conversation that you could have with your client beforehand to see how they operate and if they will be able to tolerate it and it won't be too annoying for them. So yeah, here I just braided her natural hair, and now I'm wrapping with the wrapping paper. And you've seen a little clip of me spraying it with Got To Be. I'm not gonna lie, you don't have to do that. I wanted to try it out to see if it would actually help it stick other than glue, instead of putting glue on there, because, you know, we always want to avoid glue at all costs, but there's always a proper way to apply it. But I still try not to go overboard, if that makes sense. And no, it did not stick as well as I thought it would. I ended up going in with a little bit of glue regardless, because I just wanted it to stick better, and I thought that this would work, and it ended up not working. So you don't have to do this step of putting Got To Be on the paper. I think we're going to be okay. So yeah, I don't think I ended up catching a clip of me putting glue on that extra piece, but yeah. Okay, so I did not get a clip of me putting in the extension, but I do have other videos on my YouTube showing how I put the extension over the paper with the glue as well. So as far as her sideburns, I used my mini flat iron to curl it outwards, and then I use my Murray's and some freeze spray to place that in to put that in place. That spray that I'm using, I believe it's Kendra oil sheen spray, got from Cosmoprof. And yeah, the end of her ponytail, I ended up doing a blunt cut. So the very end of her ponytail, I cut it straight across, completely blunt, and I curled it outward. So you can see here, so it kind of gives like a little Barbie ponytail type of vibe. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back with another video. Love you guys. Bye.